Why decide between a cinnamon roll and French toast when you can have both? Oh, are we rolling? I received a question from a recent med school graduate asking whether it's more important to pay down debt, such as student loans, or to put that money to work with investments. It's a wonderful question. The answer is going to vary by each individual because everyone's situation is different. But today, I wanted to give you a dive into the proper mindset and just some general rules of thumb for figuring out the answer for you. Arguably, the two most important pieces of information in this puzzle are what is the interest rate on the debt that you have, and what is the return you could expect from an investment? Where's your money going to work hardest and grow fastest for you? Let's look at an example. Let's say that you have $10,000 in debt and it has a 10% interest rate on it. Let's also say that you've saved up $10,000 in a checking account and you're wondering if you should pay off the debt or if you should invest that money. Let's say you choose the latter option and you leave the debt alone and it grows at that 10% interest rate over the year. Let's also say that the investment vehicle that you put your money into has a fairly good year and goes up by 7%. Although it may feel good now emotionally that you have $10,700 saved up in an investment account, you're actually in a worse place than when you began. Note that the difference or the area between these two lines is your net worth. And you're currently in the negative in this situation. You would have been better off using that $10,000 initially to pay off the debt and then investing future money. Investing is extremely important though, so how do you decide when to invest, when to pay down debt, and maybe to split income between the two? I like to use something that I call the 15x rule. Whatever the interest rate is on the particular debt that you have, multiply that number by 15, and that's the percentage that you should be using of your extra income to pay down that amount. In my previous example, the interest rate on the debt was 10%. 10% times 15 is greater than 100%, meaning in that situation, all your extra income should be going towards paying down that debt rather than worrying about investing the money. A side note to remember is that that interest rate is a guaranteed amount. There's not going to be any investment that is going to give you a guaranteed 10% return every year. If you hear that, run for the hills because it's too good to be true. Now let's say that the interest rate is only 3%. 3% times 15 equals 45%. So as a general rule of thumb, you should be using 45% of your extra income towards paying down that debt and then 55% towards investments. Remember, this is just a general rule of thumb. There are, of course, other factors to consider in where to put your money, but I hope this helps in getting you started. If you have any further questions, please reach out. I'm always happy to help. Take care.